1. Well, now you're live on YouTube as well.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Facebook land. Thank you very much.
Hello.
So we're here with the WoofWoof Meow Vet Advice podcast. We're going to get started here in a couple of minutes. We're right now, let's just preview what we've got, Jim. We're going to be talking about fresh foods, adding those into the diet. There's this really, really cute article that came out that Dr. Carlson was in for Rover.com. It's so cute. So I hope everybody reads it. It has a lot of good recipes and stuff too. So we're going to talk about that today. Talk about this amazing $636 million pet supplements market. What are we doing, Jim?
Wow.
Paw care in the winter cold. It has been really, really cold this week. Next script, Jim, for you is going to be Christmas puppies and kitties. Gifts for pets as well. And also on that, I think we should just go be pet gifters. So after Christmas puppies and kitties, the top pet names of 2019. Love that. I bet I could probably tell you what they are anyway.
Yeah.
My dogs and cats are on those lists too. So the dog and cat names of 2019. So, all right. Are you ready to go, Jim?
I'm ready.
All right. Let me find the clock here and see where we're at. Okay. Here we go. Thanks for joining us today for the WoofWoof Meow Vet Advice Podcast. I'm Kristen Carlson here with Dr. Jim Carlson, owner and holistic veterinarian at Riverside Animal Clinic and Holistic Center right here in McHenry, Illinois. Today, we're talking about Christmas presents for your pets. Astounding amount of money people spend on this annually. Adding fresh food into your pet's diet through treats, giving pets for Christmas as well as the top pet names of 2019. Those are going to be really fun.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. We're always here to help answer any questions you have for your pet. And if you want to get in touch with us right now, you can get in touch with us at 216 The Net. There's a big TV here. We can see your comments coming in. You have any questions for us, you can go ahead and type them in and we'll try to answer them. Okay. We're offering our own opinions today here, and we want you to consider what we have to say and reach out to your own veterinarian or to us with questions. We can be reached at riversideanimalclinic.net, and all of today's items will be featured on our blog. Our blog is getting pretty popular right now, so lots of good info and lots of good links today for our Facebook audience. All right. So Dr. Carlson is featured in an article this week on bestlife.com, and the article is very helpful, fresh topic about feeding human foods as treats to your pets. You've done a lot of articles. You've been involved in so many of them. This article is really cute and very unique. I've never seen one quite like it before. Mm-hmm. And that I'll put on our blog later today. It's on rover.com right now. So if you want to Google that, you can do rover.com, Dr. Jim Carlson. You're in several articles on Rover. So can you give us some ideas about adding fresh whole foods to your pet's diet?
Well, there's nothing better than fresh food because it stimulates the palate. You know, it's good for digestion. Pets really like it. I don't know of very many pets that refuse it. Uh-huh. So a lot of times fresh protein, okay, in the way of meat, mostly steamed vegetables are really important. Make sure you steam them because they're easy to digest, much easier.
So it's easier to digest like a baby carrot that's been steamed than just handling baby carrots through the day.
Because they'll eat them raw, and some pets like them that way, but they won't digest them. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it can upset the tummy. Where steamed, they'll go ahead and digest them.
Okay. It's kind of like, I think, conditioning sometimes, because my sister has these two little teddy bear dogs. Hi, Phil. And hey, Phil. Her dogs started with, you told her right away, just cut up some chicken, feed that to them, give them some carrots, that kind of stuff. And so she started that right away when they were puppies, and they'll still eat that to this day.
Yeah. And if you stay, if you're going to go more than 25% of the diet, then they're probably going to gravitate more towards the whole food. Mm-hmm. Where if you stay less than 25% of the diet, it's going to be more like a treat to them. It'll entice them to eat the rest of their meal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about some of the top foods that are considered really good in the diet.
Definitely yogurt.
Okay.
Very good for the GI tract.
So what kind of yogurt? I mean, some of that stuff has a lot of sugar. Like, it's shocking. Right. When you go and actually read the label. Yeah. Plain Greek yogurt.
So the plain Greek yogurt, goat yogurt is really good. You make sure that's not flavored. Read the label. You want to watch the sugar, but you're not giving very much either. So the average dog is going to get about a teaspoon or tablespoon. So don't go hog
Okay.
wild with it, but a little bit of that probiotic is fine.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. Like blueberries, any berries or anything like that, a good idea?
In moderation. So obviously grapes are one of those things that you should avoid as far as fruits, but blueberries, strawberries, even banana
Mm-hmm.
is fine.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of dogs would like a banana.
Yeah. And if you grind it up like in a little bit of meat,
Mm-hmm.
they're more apt to eat it that way than if you just give them the fruit in a bowl. They're probably not going to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a cat who, I guess I've never really talked to if this is okay or not, but he loves popcorn, and he'll just stand there and meow if he knows that you have it or that there's, any popcorn in sight. He's right there. Is that okay for him to eat?
Yeah, it's good. It's good fiber. They like it, and it's not going to hurt. A little bit of salt, a little bit of butter that's in there is probably not going to bother him.
Look who's here.
Got a little turkey, dog of the hour. Thank you, Nancy.
For bringing turkey down.
Delivering the
She
turkey.
has a nice Christmas sweater.
Oh.
And she's been groomed at Hippie Clips in Harvard with Ingrid, who is a wonderful dog groomer if you live out that way.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, you look good.
Perfect.
Yeah, we couldn't let you miss today. You're a good girl. So the calories are a big concern for today's dogs. This one is one of them because she's a little chubby.
Yeah.
Tell us about how real food can help make your dog healthier, especially in the area of treats.
Well, they're going to metabolize that much differently than, say, processed food, because it's going to take, on average, about 30-40% longer to digest than processing. So they're going to get more sustainable energy. They're going to digest it better. It's not going to be as convenient if you're feeding whole foods, but at the same time, if you're just supplementing it once in a while, that's usually pretty convenient.
Well, I think like my sister does. She, you've heard of meal prepping for humans, but she does that like once a week for the dogs. Like she'll make their chicken for the week and cut it into little diced bites because her dogs are little. And also make sure they have their carrots and all their other treats. And she like does that on Sunday or something. So, yeah,
batching is a great idea. And, batch for the week. Try not to go maybe longer than a week. You can batch it in portions. So it's already prepared. Break it out of the freezer,
too,
thaw it out.
Yeah. And that's good if you're making your own dog food too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All righty. Very good. Well, the pet supplement industry is absolutely huge. I almost passed out when I saw this. The market has reached $636 million in
That's
revenue.
amazing.
And
Wow.
there's some great products coming out and tons of innovation is going on. Is this a clever marketing trick or is this the reality of the future?
Well, supplements can be a very good addition to the diet, especially if they're older patients. You always want to talk to your veterinarian about which ones you should use. That's appropriate for your pets, either, staying in good general health or if they have health problems. If they're on a good quality dog food, they may not need the supplementation, but it doesn't hurt them. You just don't you want to follow label directions. You want to make sure that you're not adding too many supplements at one time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're can be a pretty powerful addition to your pet's diet because we use a lot of them in our holistic practice. There's a high rate of return and interest in this category that is likely driving some of this innovation, some of the sales, some of the businesses attracted to getting into pet supplements. Maybe they're also in human supplements. You see a lot of crossover coming that way, right?
That's for sure.
Yeah. The dog owners aged 25 to 34 skew particularly high for buying supplements for their animals as well. So I believe that mostly encompasses millennials. Yeah. Why are people looking to supplements for their animals?
I think a lot of it is they want to make sure that with the food hype and everything like that, they maybe have tried Western medicine, maybe without results. They want to add some supplements. they didn't like the side effects of Western medicine. They want to
Mhm.
consider supplementation.
Yeah, you hear that all the time.
Right.
All the people who come to see you for holistic stuff are just not really interested anymore, or, they've had a lot of failures, or they, keep getting into a same cycle kind of situation.
Right.
What are some of the growing trends in pet supplements?
Well, one of the CBD for sure. We've got one here.
Right there,
That's
the Tropic CBD.
Tropic CBD
Mhm.
is in a dog biscuit. Certainly the CBD oils.
So those are that's pretty much the biggest trend right now.
Yeah.
In all of pet supplementation, but it's a great one.
It is.
Yeah.
And even for Benjo, giving him some of the CBD treats calms him down,
Yes.
makes him more
Yeah.
relaxed.
I wasn't so sure about it, is he didn't like the taste of it, because they do smell a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not every dog is going to quite go for it.
Yeah.
But once I slathered it in peanut butter, and then I really saw that he ate it, and it really did settle him down.
Yeah, it
He's a
doesn't
golden
work.
retriever. He likes to run around all the time with something in his mouth and jump on the beds, and he's kind of a brat. But once he does the CBD, he's pretty cooled out.
Seem to be less destructive when he's on that.
He is. We brought some tried and true supplements with us today. Some of the things that we always use and we feel like are excellent supplements, things we are dependent on prescribing. So if you want to go through a few of those, that'd be great.
Well, we've got the Bloom products here, which are powdered, and the average amount is going to be somewhere between a quarter teaspoon to a teaspoon a day. And that's helps with digesting. We have joint supplements, also just a general vitamin.
Mm-hmm.
We do have the CBD product we mentioned earlier. The turkey tail mushroom, which is in this one in KDP Freely. And then we also have one with a probiotic over here.
Immunoboosto.
The Immunoboosto works really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
The Diagel, excellent product for traveler's diarrhea.
And this product is made by a conventional veterinary company, but it's very holistic.
Yeah.
It's made with essential oils. It has tannins from tea or wine in it. So everything in that really is pretty natural. But they just figured out how to put it all together.
Yeah, just to give that quick, it's almost like Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, well, it's fantastic
for dogs, really.
stuff. Yeah. Okay. And then some of the most prescribed in the practice include, and some of the newer ones that you kind of use as go-tos. What is turkey tail mushroom for?
It works great for the immune system.
Okay.
It actually targets cancer cells or cells that are worn out, need to be removed from the body.
Okay.
So it's an assistant to the for the natural killer cells and T and B cells.
Interesting.
So it's really cool.
And then the CBD products, what do those do?
Now CBD, it stimulates the endocannabinoids in the body, which are natural healing centers.
Okay.
So it works synergistically with the body to heal. And so when you're giving them, the pet owner can not only know that they're giving something that was designed for the body, that it's going to be effective in managing. Really, it's a standalone therapy for a lot of things: upset stomach, pain and inflammation, ear problems, you name it. It can be used as a great adjunct.
You had some astounding results with just CBD treatments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty.
It's really good stuff.
I mean, for arthritis, one dog was missing, it was just kind of like missing some of its joint capsule, or do you remember that case? And it was just like, you went to look at the x-ray and it was unbelievable that this dog was getting around, and all they used was CBD, and it's getting around great.
Yeah. It can help to reduce cartilage damage, help to even rebuild cartilage.
I think your words were that wasn't even there. Like the joints were basically gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem totally resolved itself.
But you really should see a vet before you're starting all this supplementation, because what I think I see that's the most frustrating is going in with someone or learning something from someone who really isn't educated about animals or what could be wrong with your animal. So then people will just jump on this bandwagon of supplement. I've tried this, and this. And they come in frustrated because none of it worked, because that wasn't really what was wrong with their dog in the first place. So they're treating all these different things that they see at home, and it's good to take some action, but getting some advice, especially from a holistic veterinarian who's open to supplementation, I think is super important. One other thing I just wanted to point out were the flaxseed lignans. You use those quite a bit as well.
They work really good to help manage Cushing's disease or manage cortisol levels, especially with dogs who seems to me an emerging problem is atypical Cushing's, where you send out a traditional blood test and it doesn't come back as diagnostic for it, but they still have the pattern of it.
Really?
Works tremendously, and they're going to natural. You're not going to see the side effects. Sometimes you do need traditional medicine to get them through the emergency problems, but at the same time, you need a supplement there that's going to be supportive of the body too. We have to always remember to treat the patient with the disease, not just the disease only.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, good. It's been really cold this week, and it looks like we'll finally be getting a break from the low teens and the single-digit weather now. But those freezing conditions, winter ice, and snow, plus a few other hazards, mean your pet's paws might have more issues than you realize during the winter. Our little kitten patient, Barney, came into the office with a cut to his little paw last week, and he cannot leave the Christmas tree ornament alone like 99% of other cats. And after climbing in it, he dropped a glass ornament and sliced his little foot on it because it shattered. His owner, I just saw his owner yesterday, and he told me he found the other glass ornament. Barney did. He dropped that one to the ground, but it didn't break, so he was uninjured. But, you can face a lot of cuts. Even the hooks on the Christmas tree ornaments can be an issue. And if anybody's a chewer and they get a hold of the lights, you're in trouble there too. Yeah,
you want to use pet safe as much as possible. So non-breakable items, secure those with maybe twisty ties so they can't get them off. Or just consider a natural tree, where you're not just using lights and maybe not the ornaments for the pet. So,
all right. Anything that can be done about, chewing through the wires or anything, or you just have to maybe put it in a room and shut the doors if your cats are that crazy about it?
Yeah, because there are conduits that you can go from the plug-in in the wall all the way up to the tree. So it's kind of a protective plastic that goes around it.
It's not going to get you through the rest of the tree.
No, there's there's always risks when we're dealing with electricity and pets. It's common sense and using our best judgment, because it is an attraction. We can't deny that. All right. This being safe.
It happens.
Yeah.
What about you? We've some of our dogs have actually gotten cut on the ice, and those injuries to the paws, like when they need treatment or don't. Because Barney ended up being okay. You didn't have to do any stitching or anything like that for his little feet. He's really young too. He's only like a 3-month-old kitty.
Yeah, they heal fast.
But some of our dogs have cut themselves on ice a couple of times, actually.
Yeah, because it's pretty tough. It reminds me of like a sole of a tennis shoe. It's pretty durable.
Their feet?
Yeah, they're durable, but at the same time can be easily penetrated with something that's sharp, or so a tennis shoe could be poked through with the nail. A tennis shoe wouldn't withstand a big glass shard going through it. But you could walk across the gravel fine. You could walk across something rough fine without really injuring it too much.
Okay. What are their feet made up of? I mean, I know, and it's kind of a weird question. I don't even know how to ask it. So their skin, but then they've got these like nubbly things on the bottom of their feet. What is that?
Yeah, it's really tactile. So they feel a lot. So at the surface, there's kind of that. It's roughened, but at the same time, it looks like little feathers. Just like little like you mentioned, nubbly things. But that helps them to feel vibrations, to know when they're sprinting across the yard where their feet are, because they've got 4 feet on the ground. And they have to be coordinated, otherwise they trip all the time. But it's very thick skin that has been designed to withstand a lot of wear and tear.
All righty. So I get that a lot of wear and tear can happen, but if they go outside, and the average home is usually going to be a driveway, sidewalk, can their paws freeze when it gets to be a certain temperature?
Yeah.
They can.
I mean, if you're getting down really below zero, they're not going to be able to tolerate being out in the cold very long before they can get some skin damage. They can get frostbite as well. They have great circulation, so it's amazing that, like, I can't walk out barefoot like that and stand that very long. But a dog can run out there and be just fine with it. So you have to use your best judgment. Make sure they're moist. If they dry out and get cracks in them, it's just like our hands get dried and cracked. It can be painful, allow bacteria to get in there. So
do you put that balm on your pet's paw pads?
Bag balm, pet balms that are pet friendly usually have lanolin.
We
in
have
them.
a really good one. It's from King Canine, and it's a CBD balm.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that one. It's super thick, but it's kind of a nice paw treatment to do. Like, we do it when we do some basic grooming for dogs, and it just makes their paws like feel nice, and they smell really good.
Yeah. And I can lick it. Clients often ask,
sick.
what happens if they lick it off, and that's very safe. If they ingest it, it's not going to harm them. Yeah.
I had another question about the paw pads. Did you trim the hair in between them? Because I've read that it makes your house cleaner because they're not bringing in stuff in, and then they're probably not going to get like snowballs in there. Yeah,
you want to keep it short. You don't necessarily want to go in there with the shavers and get it super short, because they can get. It's better to have a little snowpack against a little hair than directly against the skin, because if that snow packed skin on skin, you're going to get frostbite. But you don't want them walking on the hair. So if you notice your pets, the hair's curling across the pad, it's time to trim it back. So you want to see all the pads when you look at the feet.
All right. And what if their feet smell like Fritos?
Well, that's a problem. Fritos equal yeast. So Frito feet usually means that they're either they could get too many carbs in their diet, which would cause increased sweating and moisture in the feet.
Really?
Or they may not be, groomed. If they're not getting their nails frequently trimmed, at least managed once a week, then there could be problems with feet or feet.
Oh, Frito feet. The diagnosis, Jorky. Yeah. It's official. So we do sell it's a little paw scrub. It comes with a little brush. You can get in there, antibacterial. There's also paw wipes and stuff like that they have. But those really do keep the Fritos down. And that's yeast in there. The Fritos are yeast, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's why they smell so bad. Alrighty.
And do a little foot care every day, check them daily, but once a week, do a little manicure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, good job. We are already getting calls about Christmas puppies and kittens. A lot of people get these as a gift, and that we hope is a welcome pet. In searching for info about this story, there are so many articles discourage giving a pet for Christmas. And quite honestly, if you want one and you can take care of it, go out and get yourself a Christmas puppy or kitten, or get one for your family. If you guys have it all together, I think that's good. I think there are a lot of scare tactics out there on the internet, that say, all these dogs are going to end up in shelters. But we did see an ASPCA study that says 96% of people who received a pet as a gift, whether it was a surprise or not, didn't increase or decrease their love for the attachment for that pet. And only 0.3% of cats and 0.4% of dogs were returned as unwanted gifts in a study by the Applied Animal Welfare Science.
Yeah. So what's not to love? I mean,
of course.
Even if
if you gave me a puppy, I'd be so excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
I don't want you to give me one this year, though.
Yeah, I know we got enough of them.
4 dogs is plenty. Yeah. And I don't know, 8 or 9 cats. I've lost count.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the things you probably need to consider is lifestyle a good fit.
Yeah, because it is a responsibility, and so you want to consider, even though it's a time of the gift of giving, the time of year to give and stuff like that. It's a wonderful gift. Is that it is a living being and it's got to be cared for. So be realistic, about your lifestyle and whether you can care for them.
Right. And a chore assignment sheet is also a good option for that.
Yeah.
So I think one of the mistakes that we see, it's not a mistake, it's just, like an oversight, is the health assessment that needs to be done right away when you're giving someone a pet. So if your pet already arrived, you really should have seen the vet immediately, because some of these pets are coming from breeders, and breeders have contracts.
Mhm.
And just tell us a little bit about the breeder contracts, and then, contracts from anybody you're buying an animal from.
Right. The if you're adopting them or purchasing, there's usually for a breeder, there's a purchase agreement that they have to be seen by the veterinarian right away to be sure that the pet doesn't have any genetic issues, because they usually have a guarantee with
Okay.
if there's a problem. Adoption centers, even though they've been vet checked, they want you to take them to your vet to have them vet checked as well, make sure there's no underlying problems. And it makes good sense. Once you get them, you want to make sure everything's okay. You want to get off to a good start.
Oh, okay. And then you got to, of course, we talk about this all the time, plan financially, consider pet insurance, do some research on that online to see what kind of insurance you're looking for. Emergency care, do you want more than that? Will it handle all the surgeries you're expecting? Or that could happen, accidents, that kind of thing. So, just look around on the internet and see if there's something you could do now, because it's cheaper when they're littler, right?
It is. And the good news is that a lot of the shelters will provide the first 30 days of insurance free.
Oh, really? Oh, good. That's
So at
great.
least you're covered for the first month.
Yeah, good. In the end, just 6 to 13% of pets eventually end up leaving their homes, according to Fur Kids, an Atlanta-based rescue group. That's pretty good.
Not a bad percentage.
No, not at all. And with these adorable names that are coming up, you'll probably see why. Who doesn't love picking out pet names? It's so much fun. There are many that we hear many, many times a day in the clinic, and some more unusual ones, of course. But today, Rover.com is reporting the 7th annual most popular dog names of 2019.
All right.
So you go ahead with the female names, Jim.
Looks like Bella is number 1, Luna, Lucy, Daisy, and Lily.
All right, we've got a
Very
Lily
cool.
at home, and we
We
have
do.
Bella, who's a horse.
Yeah.
And the top dog names for boy dogs: Max, Charlie, Cooper, Buddy, and Rocky. For female cats, it's Luna, Bella, Lily, Lucy, and Kitty. So very similar to the female dogs. And the male cats: Oliver, Leo, Milo, Charlie, and Max. We have an Oliver and a Leo.
You know.
I just don't know which cats they are, because we always rename them, so nobody can remember what their original name was.
I think Kickerson is Oliver and Butterworth is Leo.
All right. So the majority of pet owners will be giving their pets gifts this year, $5 billion annually for pet gifts. $5 billion.
People love their pets,
They certainly do. Each year, owners can choose among more and more pet products and pet gifts. New trends highlighted by the American Pet Products Association this year include special offerings from retailers that normally focus on humans. Omaha Steaks is now selling pet steak treats, and Paul Mitchell offering a full range of pet shampoos and pet hygiene products. Actually, we have Paul Mitchell over there.
We do. It's lovely.
They do they did your hair. They did the human hair for a long time, but they've made it into pets, and he's such a genius. They have such great products. We have this really nice lavender and mint conditioner and shampoo that are so awesome. So the one thing is rawhide. Can you tell us why we kind of want to avoid that?
The source of the rawhide is really important. And then also, if the rawhide has been compressed. So compressed rawhide is number 1. Make sure that it's been ground and pressed back into a chew, because then if they bite a piece off, it's going to break down into little pieces. It is a supervised chew, so you got to be careful when you're leaving to not leave them with the rawhide. Rawhides don't necessarily digest very well. So some pets, if they have digestive problems, are probably not a good source, a good candidate for rawhides.
Oh, okay. But really all the chews should be supervised.
Absolutely.
If it's a kind of a long-term thing and not just a cookie or something.
Right. If it's not like a Kong toy or something like that, they should be watched. You should be home when you give it to them.
All right. According to petfinder.com, 63% of dog owners and 58% of people with cats give their pets Christmas presents. 4 in 10 dog owners, meanwhile, and 37% of cat owners hang stockings for their pets. And overall, Americans reportedly spend $5 billion annually, of course. It's a portion of the $50 billion spent each year on pets in the United States. And not all of that's coming from veterinary medicine.
No.
Not even that much of that, right?
Yeah, I don't think maybe $2 billion a year is spent on vet care.
So we have a Hey Doc question today from Lindette Lee here on Facebook. What was the flaxseed item you used for Cushing's? That one is called Lignans for Life. Lignans and the number 4 life.com. You can look into that there. And then is turkey tail good for all cancers?
Yes, it is. It targets all cancers. So it's a good product to use if your pet's been diagnosed or if you're just trying to prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the lignans, though, if your dog has Cushing's and it's diagnosed with Cushing's or there's an issue, the lignans is just part of a program.
Right. And you don't want to use it as a replacement for traditional therapy. You want to use it as an adjunct. So it's because it does bind cortisol. It assists the medication in making your pet have more success with the treatment.
Okay. So when you're doing that one, you usually are using some kind of anxiety relieving medication, melatonin, lignans. You're doing a big broad spectrum treatment plan. So lignans aren't just like the only thing you would use, Lindette. So if you are, thinking about using that, that's possible. Thanks for joining us today,
Thank
everybody,
you.
on the WoofWoof Meow Meow Vet Advice Podcast. See you next week. Have a great day. Grab my phone, please.